Welcome to today's episode of Stationeers. In this episode, the focus and theme is going to be build, and make, with a little bit of trading sprinkled in between. Now, I do have some important questions for you later in the episode, but before we get to those, let's just dive right in. And here we are. Today's going to be an important day. A big day, a long day. As you see, I'm already starting on the steel frames, and there's going to be a ton of steel frames in our near future, because of course we need to start building a base. Then, I actually fixed the filtration. Thanks to the help of the people in the Stationeers Discord, I have now settled on using 3 separate IC chips to control the gas inflow to the base. I'm not going to explain the code in too much detail. It essentially boils down to this. The sensor still senses the ratio of the gases, but in addition, it will also measure the total pressure of all the gases inside the base. Then, instead of trying to have the percentages compete against each other, I just want a minimum partial pressure of a specific gas. If over time the amount of pressure slightly changes in the base, or the ratio of the gases slightly changes in the base, that's going to be fine. As long as I have the partial pressure minimum that I want for that specific gas, it is a-okay. Now we have processed all of our ores, they're all gone. So let's go outside to do some trading. Avoid vapors. Now that sounds like a gas trader. Let's see if we can make some more money. Yes, we can, but only 34 pieces this time, which still, it's 135 euros. Sounds good to me. Kinda wanna do this too. 2 duct tape, 2 carbon dioxide filters, 10 plastic, 10 coils, in a cardboard box. Okay. Duct tape. Okay, so it is gonna be a bit annoying to have to continually go to the back of the machine, but we'll find a solution. Cable. What else did they need? It was something from this, but what was it again? I don't remember what it was. What did they need again? Duct tape. Oh, right, 2 filters of carbon dioxide and 10 plastic sheets. I can do that. So I do need you. Oh no. 2 filters and 10 plastic sheets. There we go. Let's have a drink in the meantime. And a cardboard box. Well, an extra sheet. That's okay. That's a nice stack now. So, 10 plastic sheets, 2 pieces of duct tape, 2 carbon dioxide filters, and 10 cables, all nicely packed into a single box. Let's see if this works. It is, after all, exactly what they asked. Yes. 235. Such a nice amount, don't you think? Am I gonna want a fuel canister? No, I'll make my own fuel.
I'll do it myself.
Ooh, build incorporated. That's nice. That's great, actually. That is exactly the kind of trade that we want. Yeah, let's call you in the meantime so you can land, and then we'll continue looking for the other one. So here's the thing, right? All the stuff in the cans does not decay, but it doesn't do much, essentially. I can't take the tomatoes out and use them for something else. That's the issue. So these are kind of So then the question is, cocoa powder. This can be used to make chocolate cake. That's quite good. It's fucking expensive, holy shit. Eggs, milk. What can I sell to you? Nothing, essentially. Alright, you can go. And let's call in the bill trader. Now what would I like to buy? Glass is so expensive. 2 silicon each. Makes sense, I suppose, but I do want more glass. Now these walls, I'm not entirely sure about, because they're all composite walls, which means I need lots of plastic sheets. And the plastic sheets always all take the silicon. Yeah, let's buy 53 more of these. Alright, and we're sold out again, and you can go. Which means I'll be making a ton of steel sheets. Stack size 50. Start printing, please. Will this return an empty can after I'm done eating it? Oh, I also added a little overhead cabinet. And these 2, mostly because I felt like it. Which reminds me, electrum, invar, and solder. There we go. Hey, the arc welder. Excellent. Quick mining trip. This is a problem. Oh no, I'm caught out in a dust storm. I need a weather station, don't I? I think it's somewhere in that direction, the base. Yeah, let's be real. I have no idea where I'm going. Nothing to do but just wait it out, I suppose. Now I know this doesn't help, but I have dug myself a little hole just to stay put for the night.
The next morning.
Yes, daytime. Let's go. See, it wasn't that fucking far off. Man, that's annoying. Hello, precious base. Let's see what we can do, shall we? Well, hello there. Does it only want, like, degassed stuff? I suppose. Oh well. What was I doing again? Alright, the chutes. I want a chute import bin. So, let's get a couple of those. And some basic chutes. Just one or two will do, I think. Because this is a bit annoying. That one over there. And this one over here. So we're gonna get the corner on those. And the imprint bit on those. Now I do need some power, so while I'm at it, let's make a whole bunch of cable coils. Let's have a first clearing. Right, so now if I have some stuff here on the ground, I can just put it in there and it will go into the machine. And this one is fairly easily reachable from the side, so I'll just use that instead. While that is producing, let's check out the trader. So how long does it take for the traders to refresh? Also, as an aside, do I want to encapsulate these panels with some glass? Wouldn't be a bad idea. Stellar sprouts, sure. Ooh. Corn, pumpkin, rice, switchgrass, tomato. But first, I actually have to see what I can sell to you. Oh, this is nice. Same as before. Great. Let's make one of those. And some carbon dioxide. Let's sell it straight away. This is normal carbon dioxide, and that was way less, but it sold for a lot of money. I approve. I'll get the 2 planters and the consumable package, because this is gonna get us enough money to buy a new seed or 2, which is gonna be great. I need to expand my base seed supply. You can stop. Then, 2 duct tape, carpet box, 2 filters. I think that's it. That's all that's supposed to be in the box, isn't it? And 10 cable coils and 10 plastic sheets, I remember. And the planter. Where do I make a planter? Hydraulic. My way. 1. Excellent. Do I need to have it in my hand? Yes. Excellent. 250. We've never had more money than this. That's insane. I just want to quickly check. Yeah, these are oxygen producers. So let's buy one of those. I also want 1 tomato pack. I think I'll keep this as is and have a little bit of money left over. Because at its spy, we have another friend coming by, potentially. Let's call you down as well. So slow. Just waiting, more waiting, still waiting. Finally. Looking at this, I don't really want to sell you anything. Nah, this is nothing. Goodbye. Okay, let's turn these off to save some power. You know that we're low on power. I want stairwells, because I am planning out the new base. And what I want from you are some insulated tanks. Can I have you do some work as well? Ah, right. A weather station. 5 is enough for now. 2 for now. I need more steel. I need more silicon as well. Christ. Let's make a rocket manufactory. I think that's the one that I want. Yeah, it is. Let's have a look at some of the other tools that we might have available to us. Because I did want a couple. Like an electrical belt, that's gonna come in handy at some point. Tool belt Mark II. Start printing, please. There we go. Let's switch over all our tools. And the regular tool belt can now be recycled. We don't need it anymore.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
Make more of those, please. Now let's see, what other nice things can we do? Astraloy for a cable gun. Christ. Let's start by getting some paint.
A few moments later.
Yeah, that's kind of it. I should still have some lockers. There we go. Ooh, and a battery. For the welder. And then this welding torch. You can stay in there in case we ever need a backup of some kind. I think we have a lot of stuff to do now. First things first is a little bit of organization. First is the locker, and we'll place it over here. The locker is going to be for all the spray paints that we have, which is quite a few. Then, to make some room in our inventory, let's connect up the weather station. Maybe leave a little bit free for solar panels, and that leaves this as a pretty nice location for the weather station. These I'm gonna put outside because they will be required for the next phase, or the first phase of the base. Hello? Can I please grab you? Nope. Okay then. I'll try blowing on it. Doesn't work. That did the trick though. What else has to go outside? Some of the pipe kits, that's gonna be 100% certain. And the spotlight. Alright, I think that's pretty good. Alright, now this is great, but we'll do some automation later. Maybe today, probably not, in all honesty, to get that going. Then the first thing I want to do, I'm gonna grab a couple of frames and some steel sheets. And the reason for that is that I want this area to be lit up. There we go. Because I want to install this. And I'm going to be using the jetpack for the tower, mostly because I don't expect I'm going to be needing it that often. There we go. That seems okay.
You sure about that?
And we'll, you know, we can easily change this if need be. Well, let's go turn this baby on. Oh, I think this might be in reverse. Yes, it is. Bam the button. On switch. Yeah. That's not as good as I thought it was going to be, honestly. That'll do for now. It will have to do for now. Let's start with something simple, and that is just going to be doing this. I'm going to be using some sped up footage that includes a lot of welding, so flashing lights alert. If you're sensitive to that, you can listen to me in the background, and I will let you know when it is safe again for you to watch. I tried using the game's built-in time-lapse feature from the sanitation update, and I was a bit disappointed. I was able to set up keyframes, how many screenshots to take, and at what resolution. I was also able to stitch them together again using something like FFmpeg. So it works on a technical level, but it has some serious issues. When I was using it, I was taking a screenshot every other second or so at 1080p, no anti-aliasing being used either. Now, this should be fine. I play and record at 1440p and have pretty damn good specs. I'm rocking a 9800 X3D, an RTX 4090, and a cool 64GB of memory. I know, I mostly just got lucky in timing this before AI turned all the hardware prices to absolute shit. I'm not any happier about it than you are, trust me. Anywho, despite this, the game absolutely struggled with these screenshots. I was having massive performance issues with the game, and this was when I wasn't even recording. Every screenshot took would hitch the game ever so slightly, and with any frame rate acceptable for viewing, the game just turned into an unplayable mess. Now, if that were the only issue, I could take it on the chin and have a worse building experience for the sake of you having a better viewing experience. To my disappointment, however, the screenshots were just not good. Some of them were blurry, some of them were slightly over or undersaturated, and then when stitched together into a movie, it was just a very poor viewing experience. Now, dear viewer, this leaves me in a bit of a bind. What do I do from here? I can continue doing what I have been doing, but that can be jarring on the eyes in prolonged building sessions. Alternatively, I can speed up the footage like I'm doing right here, which is slightly less jarring, but also not the greatest viewing experience. I suppose I could get a second Steam account and a second copy of the game, but that requires migrating the game over to a server. I have a home server, but then there is the issue of that server being good as a server and not really as a recording rig from the second account. So yeah, bit of a bind. In the meantime, I think I might just use some time skips here and there, because while it might have been nice and interesting to watch me lay every single piece of cable in the very beginning, it's probably a lot less interesting now. If you have any ideas or preferences on how to solve this issue, please let me know in the comments below. With that said, it is also now safe again to continue watching the video normally. I'm gonna need so many more sheets. I'll just put some to print. I'll also make a couple more batteries because these welders are gonna eat through that. That didn't sound great. So Something burned. But where? Are you still charging? No, you burned out. Yeah, you burned out. See, from this I would say, why is the actual higher than the potential? Oh, that's megawatts, not kill, that's megawatts. Oh, ooh, damn, okay. That's a lot higher than I expected. Well, you know what I said, it's just a starter base. Are you empty? It's because you're charging that guy constantly, isn't it? Oh no, did I fuck this? Okay, so it says still the potato is striving towards seeding, and this will create one potato. I harvested one of the potatoes while it was still trying to fruit. Is this now screwed? Why are you guys doing poorly? Are you in the light of this constantly? Is that the issue? I mean, normal lights and regular lights, or normal lights and grow lights, do they interfere with each other? Otherwise, why would you be driving and you not? This one is angled away from them, so maybe that's why it's okay, but I don't know. Alright, that's enough for now. That's a lot more sheets and more building. I'm starting on the interior of the ground floor of the base, and the ground floor is going to be all utility focused. Here I want the gas storage, liquid storage, and maybe even some Larry locker stored basic items. I want logistics to be solved here, so chutes, pipes, cooling, fuel mixing, the whole shebang. It is going to start out with a decently sized plot, but I do have to take a certain amount of expandability and modularity in mind, which is going to be a challenge. That little starter base that we've had the pleasure of working in so far, it is the one and only base I've built in this game so far. That's all the experience I've had, so not a whole lot. There's gonna be mistakes, so I'm gonna try and keep that in mind. The entire ground floor of the base is therefore going to be work focused. The goal is to have a fully walkable, traversable space, in case I ever need to access, change, add, or remove anything, be that due to changing needs or due to an update. It is not necessarily supposed to be a place where I want to spend a lot of time once a project is finished. That is going to be the upstairs areas of the base. Another idea I'm playing with is to kind of have like a hard outer shell for the base. As we saw when building the starter base, sometimes I want to be inside of a frame, and frames are a hard requirement for some items to be placed upon for support. When I do have to open a frame to lay some pipe, lay some cabling, or do anything else, I want to be able to do that without the risk of venting my whole base. So for the outer shell, I'm thinking maybe just a hard layer of walls, some simple flat walls, panels, anything like that. Or maybe I'll stick to an extra thick layer of frames. I'm not entirely sure about it yet. Walls are a ton cheaper, so it's probably gonna be walls. On an aesthetic level though, I do want the entire base to make sense. In that regard, I did add another mod to the playlist, and that is the tube mod. I have played around a little bit with it in creative, and I must say I am not adept at building with it yet. And if you're like, wow, Ring, you really sound like you've really thought about how you want your base exactly to be in the future. No, I haven't. I just want to start building because I want to start building. But practice makes perfect, so I'm sure it's going to turn out just fine. At least in the end, I hope. We'll see. It's going to be fine, I believe. Ooh, you're empty. Okay. Is there a reason for that? Because a cable burned through somewhere again? Oh, yeah. Here, I see it. There. What about now? Moderately well. Still says in darkness, so I don't quite understand what the issue is. Is it maybe because the grow time is such as different for these? Nah, well, we'll figure it out. Which reminds me, 28 liters of polluted water. It's 33 degrees. That is surprisingly warm, actually. Like, genuinely surprisingly warm. It is convecting heat a bit. You're working just fine, aren't you? 58. Not great, not terrible.
Not great, not terrible.
Which reminds me, medium radiator. I'm gonna replace the pipe radiators that we have for just one good radiator, essentially. That's the idea. That's the plan. Well, let's have a couple of transformers. Maybe we cut this in two. That's okay, because there. This should alleviate the power issues somewhat, because this is all on one group now, and Okay, this is still technically all connected to the batteries directly, but just cutting it up in a couple of pieces should help to alleviate immediate issues. Okay, so I did create the potato seeds. That's nice. I suppose it's due to the difference in timers. Let me have a quick look. 5 minutes of light, 3.20 minutes of darkness, 3 minutes 30. Then I have wheat, 10 minutes per day of light, and 5 minutes of darkness. Yeah, see, that's the issue. Soybeans, 10 minutes of light, 5 minutes of darkness. So yeah, this is ideal for the potatoes and pretty crappy for everything else. But I'm not gonna fix it now, we'll do it in the proper greenhouse. So all of these are gonna get 3 pipes. So that's gonna give me enough room to connect it to anything, give me enough room to interject something, to take something out of it, to lay cables in between to make sure that whatever it is that I want to automate, I can automate. And now let's start painting, but not before, because I see the radiator in here, not before I have changed that. I'm just gonna go with a normal convection radiator. I am gonna take these off. There we go. And this makes it quickly cool down again. I really do want to change this pipe though. Nothing exploded and everything is fine. Okay, great. Now, paint. I have got myself a little paint scheme, and I'm gonna go white for oxygen, black for CO2, green for nitrogen. And those are gonna be the first 3 tanks, basically what we have inside, but these are insulated tanks just in case anything ever happens to this environment. So then, I want red for hydrogen, pink for methane, I'll have orange for fuel, and gray for polluted pipes. So let's just say, you're gonna be red, you're gonna be pink, you're gonna be orange, and I have to paint the pipes for that. And then whatever is on the main line here, so let's get a couple of pipes to illustrate. You're gonna be yellow for mixed, and gray for waste gases, essentially. Alright, decent start. Spotlight is slightly disappointing, but will do. Just in time. Even got an achievement for that. Alright, I never got my fern seeds. Oh, you get 3 seeds? Oh, ooh, that's quite nice. Rubbish collection. Decayed food. I mean, it's free money. Okay. Oh, is it stacks and stuff? Oh, crap. How much did I buy? This is a stack, isn't it? It's giving me stacks of this stuff. Okay, that's not what I expected. That's a ton of decayed food. Like, holy shit, that's a lot of decayed food. Damn, you know what? In for a penny, in for a pound. Give me the other stuff. At least we have a project for a next time. Don't really want to buy any of this. Just not interested. What I am interested in, though, is this trader. I mostly need sheets. A lot of steel sheets. There we go. And I'll also apply some plastic sheets. More sheets. And there we go. I know that when the outro begins, most people start leaving, but before you go, an important PSA first. The base building is starting to take up a lot more time than usual so far, and with the time-lapsing issue being what it is, I might opt to release fewer videos. The series isn't going anywhere, I'm having way too much fun playing this game, but it is simply going to take more time, especially if I want to cut pieces of base building that gets repetitive in between. The series release will shift away from Monday and more towards Fridays, and while I hope to have a video out roughly every week for Stationeers as well, it might have a week in between here and there where there's just not much to show and I opt to skip a week. Alright, you're free to leave now as the outro is starting. Today, I finally started on building the first functional pieces of the new base, and I think the focus on a functional logistical layer and reserving space for it is going to be the best idea I've ever had. Some small additions and upgrades to the base have happened, but nothing major, so let's just leave it at that. For next time, we have a lot of decayed food to start processing, and while I do have some ideas on what I want to do with it, I do need to try some stuff out in creative to see where I want to take it exactly. We also have a little bit of automation for the weather station to do, and I want to give it a nice little shine, so we'll see where we end up. All that said, thank you so much for watching, please leave a like and put your suggestions for the time-lapsing issues in the comment below, and I hope to see you here next time. Thank you for watching.